Dorks on hoverboards. Ooh, nice crit, you jerk. And I don't know why I can't run. Why do you crit again? Is that a guaranteed crit attack? No, it's apparently just incredibly poor luck for Dingus Day. Or this fight seems fairly routine outside of those bursts of poor luck. See if this counts as hitting from behind. Sure does. Ugh. The idea is to get up close to him when he's in the corner, because that'll make him want to move away, but not be able to move far enough away that I can't get behind him. Unless he does that. Which is, I guess, a thing that can happen. Maybe it'll move better if I'm more out here. So that does. Nope, you just keep on going, and then you crit. All told, I think I'm just gonna sit on an edge and not leave my back exposed. And that's why. Ugh. Hurts. Hurt spots. There we go. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9 more slots. Alright. Well, have a nice night. It was nice to have you out. And I'll see you soon. This is one case where I do not want to save right now. Because I want to be before that level up. Oh dear. Well, goodbye, encoding. It was nice knowing you. Yeah, they show that they've learned a lot about how to use the tech of the Super Nintendo, and that they are totally willing to use it for evil. I'm sure in the original that made sense before it was that. Hello. Alright, so I'm gonna know pretty quick if I need to reload and get that level up again. Nope. Actually, we're probably fine. Dingus can make this happen. And yeah, that flashing the scenes background is gonna be common here. So I've noticed one thing. It seems like elemental attacks can't crit. which I would be more upset about if I wasn't already doing damage that was just fine. Oh no, Advance Wars. Ow. Oh, good. Well, enjoy your free turns. I won't. At the very least, I can safely say this fight seems like mostly a formality, given the stat loadout I have. I'll get back to you in a minute when I have control again, and we'll reassess that. So a crit will kill, but I'm kind of hoping that the next time a hit comes in, it's not a crit. Okay, now I'm gonna heal. I kind of like some of the themes of the ones that come up. Like this one is just like town being nuked, and the attack is bombs coming down, and you have snowfield, and it actually drops icy things, and it's fairly well coordinated in what it was going for. It's just what it was going for kind of sucked. Like, it's definitely showing off historic content. You know, it's like Ice Age and World Wars and stuff, and it's a pretty interesting spectacle in that sense. I don't like the flashing backgrounds thing. Like, Chrono Trigger did it a lot better in that respect, where they just kind of faded in and out. Granted, Chrono Trigger also had an extremely aggressive and active background that was an issue in its own way, but I guess you could call this one the fiery, volcano-y one, prehistoric age, maybe? Also, it doesn't seem like there's many of them. Is there any other than the ice one, the fire one, and the bombs one? Oh yeah, desert, where you get advanced worst. In that sense, I guess they use all the different elements of the game and represent them actively. Here we go. So most of my concern was like the chance that I got to this with like 25 cures, but anytime it did damage to me it was a kill somehow. But no, I'm actually able to make use of my stock very well. No curable ailments though, of which there are one, but boy, I wish you could use an item to stop Confuse. Yeah, that would be cool. No crit? No crit. Thank you. I was really concerned that they were going to do the whole no programs, no elemental crap that most things in the endgame have done, but no, they actually empower you to use whatever you like. Like, ultimately, they're all the same. Because, like, it doesn't matter that this empties my bar entirely, because it takes forever to let the boss's attacks resolve. And hey, we got it. So all of the like real plot that happens is mostly emergent in the last like fifth of the game, when you start getting into all the time travel stuff. Which is really all comes down to Gato, who comes out of nowhere, really likes having control over time, and that's it. Like, there's no like particularly interesting time shenanigans that happen. It's just you go back in time, you discover that your dad is from another planet, and that's the end of the real significance of the past part. Like, you get to see a bunch of things be formed that are things in the present, but it's not like in any truly significant fashion. The plot in general is very baffling. Like, I didn't think it was very, like, decently comical either, which is clearly the tone they were going for, but a lot of, like, the scenes and stuff that were supposed to come off as amusing fell really flat for me. And part of that is maybe localization still, because the localization is very quintet, but I don't know. Like, even other quintet games, I had a much greater grasp on the tone and intent of the story and individual points, but this felt very just meandering. Like, I would say, even at this point, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense. Even though everything just kind of melted away into this guy is evil and he wants the time thingy. The game's pretty neat in general, though. Like, I like the ability to totally customize and build your robots however you like, but I feel like the options were limited. So it's like, you basically only really benefit from extreme builds, and then those all converge once you get to the level where you can have all of the main stats maxed. Which means by that point all of your build customization is in equipment, but at the same time there's inherently better and worse equipment. So there is technically something that changes their physical appearance. It's certain thresholds of their defense stats makes their chest plate change, but it's practically unnoticeable because of the angle of everything. But, like, despite mostly being... Like, the main complaints I had were... the last dungeon being very annoying, the customization not being very deep, and the translation being not very good, and the hallmark of all Quintet games is having fairly poor direction. Aside from those things, it was actually fine. I didn't mind it at all. It was pretty fun for the most part, and like... I don't know, I don't regret it. I wouldn't call it great or worth coming back to sometime or anything like that, but it's charming enough. Like, it's probably the kind of thing that if I had a more formative experience with it, I would be a lot more attached to it. But, like, for the most part, I kind of just... I don't feel like I have a lot in particular to say. Like, the main mood I'm coming out of it with is, like, average. Like, I don't feel like I'm any more enriched than I was before or anything. But it was a really interesting idea they had. Like, as far as RPG concepts go, it's pretty unique, and it was something that was a little out of their comfort zone, having a mostly stat-based RPG for the first time. You could argue that Illusion of Gaia and Terra Enigma and Soul Blazer were stat-based, but it's not really the same having an action RPG's balance versus having a turn-based game's balance, you know? But I think they did a pretty good job with it, given that it was something that they hadn't really done before. I guess I also wish that the combining system was a bit more... I don't even know what to say to explain what I feel about it, but I wish it was... I don't know, it's hard to articulate exactly the feeling with it. Okay, the main thing I wish that there was a dependable way to get scraps. Like, if you recycle something of this level, then you'll get this scrap. You know, something like that. It's like, the thing that makes it weird is I could say I would like it to be more diverse or intuitive, but I say that and then I look at what's there and I'm like, this is actually fairly diverse and relatively intuitive. like it's annoying going in blind and having to test every combination to find things you might want or might not want, but it's okay enough. Like, there are some aspects where they're very deterministic what you'll get out of it, and some parts where it's more arbitrary. But I don't know. Yeah, I would say, like, more intuitive access to scraps would be the main thing. They feel like something that you should have more grasp of and more access to in a general sense, you know what I mean? Because it's like creating and breaking things down is like one of the most core aspects of the entire system of crafting. So having the scraps mostly being either enemy drops or unique chests or sometimes being in shops felt a little odd to me. Because, like, you saw for a while I was mostly after a scrap 8 and a scrap 3, and I had not even the faintest clue where or how or if I would find either. I found one a little too late to actually use the reward from it, but the other, I don't even think you can find anywhere other than as a drop from some specific enemies. But yeah, I think that's the main thing I would like out of the crafting system, just the scraps being more accessible. Yeah, there's a lot this game did good. It's an interesting experience. It definitely has its pitfalls, but they're not enough to make it a negative experience, I would say. But I don't really know what else to really say other than just going on basically the same points I've been making. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I think if they did more with this IP, granted, doing more with this IP would involve existing longer, but yeah, as far as Quintet in general goes, I think my favorite is still Soul Blazer. Mostly because it doesn't try to do too much, and it doesn't do too little either. Like, it's just... It still has some of that Quintet, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing sometimes, but the format is such that they typically aren't super impactful when you run into those situations. A few years ago, I played the whole trilogy, and not too long ago, I did a randomizer of it, which is actually a really interesting game to do a randomizer of, because there's just so many things out there that you can unlock and be able to react to. Illusion of Gaia I would like a lot more if it wasn't so like combination of story driven and also being one of the worst quintet titles for its sense of direction and cohesive instructions. Terranigma was great for the first 2 chapters, and then chapter 3 was just absolutely soul breaking in how unfun it was to try to figure out what you're expected to do. Especially once you get to how you unlock the endgame, which was an amazing treat in why would they make it like this. ActRaiser 1 is... ActRaiser 1 is really good. The platforming is a bit basic. It kind of feels tacked on, and I think the game would be better if it was just, a city sim game. Meanwhile, ActRaiser 2... I think the combat engine of ActRaiser 2 is one of the best combat engines in the entire 16-bit era. But they overtuned the difficulty of the game way too much to make it really inaccessible to a lot of people. And I think that's what really killed it. That and a lot of people coming in from ActRaiser expected it to be mostly City Sim again. And then when there was no City Sim, people were just kind of put off from the start and didn't really want to go to all of the work to figure out all the depth of the combat system. And, yeah, the main thing with the endgame of Terranigma, there are a couple points in the game, honestly, but there are a couple points where how drastic the stat curve is just directly counter to the level you're naturally at that point. There are 2, maybe 3 bosses where if you're not 3 or 4 levels above a natural level, you just will not be able to damage that boss. You'll do 1 to it and it'll do like 40 to you. Or if you get 3 levels, you'll do like 12 to it and it'll do like 6 to you. And it's like, how did you make the scaling this severe? But, so it goes.